Today on DNVR Buffs Live, Yaya didn't cue me in, and I am back. That's not what I was planning to say, but it's the only thing I can think of right now. Also, who is the fastest player on the new Colorado Buffaloes? And how is Coach Prime a top candidate for jobs that aren't even open? Let's do it. Let's go.
Squad.
Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota Store. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. It's DNVR Buffs Live. The gang is back together again. Welcome back.
Finally,
bro.
man. Finally. Let me tell you, I have been in the inside of meeting rooms without windows for the last 3 days, and that'll really give you a deep appreciation for what we do here.
For sure, I bet.
And also a deep appreciation for all of you out there who spend your days in meeting rooms without windows.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grind. And I was on a plane for damn near half the time. But I'm back.
Well done, bro.
It's a beautiful day here.
This is the best day we've
Great
had
day
in
to have windows.
weeks, months.
Yeah.
I think it's 60. I saw 60,
Yeah.
I think.
Elite day
Love
out
to
here in
see that.
Denver. All right, today on the show, CBS has their second-year head coaching grades. Ooh, spicy. A new NFL mock draft that has a pretty interesting shakeup in the top 10. We got the date for the spring game. How about that? Things are moving. You mentioned Coach Prime being a leading candidate for NFL jobs that aren't even open yet.
Yeah.
Shrine Bowl recap, but today we start with Coach Brandon Reyes yesterday. Always does great work with the speed numbers with the guys in the offseason or whenever they're doing workouts. And it's really, I think, one of the coolest things to come out of the program under Coach Prime are these speed numbers. And oh boy, are they jaw-dropping, absurd, all those words put together.
Intriguing would be the word I would use.
Okay.
Great little social media tease by Coach Reyes.
No doubt.
Shout out to him for helping us out on the show today, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're going to break it all down. Y'all, I'm going to send this to you so you can put it up. The Buffs wide receivers are faster than they were last year, dare I say?
Is that confirmed? Did you cross-reference this?
Not
Across
confirmed, but
years?
these numbers are insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The top one, Yaya's going to pull this up here in a second, but the top number is a ridiculous 23.79 miles an hour by a Colorado wide receiver. Yes, it is track speed.
And that's over 1 mile per hour faster than anyone else on this list.
So in 2024 in the NFL, Kevontae Turpin of the Dallas Cowboys hit the fastest in-game speed at 22.36.
There's 3 numbers faster than this on here.
Yes.
Bro. And Turpin be flying.
And he is insanely
Turpin be
fast.
flying. That's crazy.
There's 2 parts of this. Like, obviously, when you're playing in a game, you're not just running in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if this would, we don't have the full context of this. This could have just been they were running a straight line. Or it was just their speed in practice or in a workout, which is pretty crazy. But I would also say, and Scott, I think you could probably speak to this, in a game, that extra adrenaline can take your top speed to a higher speed.
Yeah, bro. It's like, and I think you might have mentioned this before too. It's kind of like if you sprint, you practice sprinting, days at a time, weeks at a time, and then you run with somebody who's a little bit faster than you, it's going to bring out, a different level in you. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing, here with these guys. Like, I mean, it's competition. Like, I think, who do y'all think was this 23.79?
It's got to be Quentin Gibson, right?
Oh, I have a different take.
I think me and you have the same take.
I think it's Cam Michael.
I think it's Cam Michael.
He's up there for sure, but
I think it's Cam Michael.
23.7?
Bro, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
bro.
but so here's my thought on this. I wonder if it's similar to yours, Scott. He's bigger, which gives him more stride, which
Longer
makes
legs.
me think that maybe he has a higher chance to reach a higher speed. I can't say I've done enough research on what you have to do to reach a high speed as a runner, but that was my guess, and my second guess probably would have been Q, but when I put them against each other, I'm like, all right, give me the guy who's over 6 feet,
Exactly.
who is going to be able to really stride it out.
100%. And yeah, I mean, there was a dope video on Reach the People. Shout out Shedeur Sanders Jr. And I think he was I believe this was kind of the day that these numbers kind of came from, where it was kind of just a speed day where they were racing.
They were racing,
the whole day, and that was kind of it was a speed day, and there was a lot of competition. You let it see it in Cam. It seemed like he was out there talking his mess with the bifocals on. Boy had the glasses on, cooking folks. You feel me? He was like, they think they can mess with me. They cannot. So yeah, I mean, Cam, and I spoke to Cam's high school coach around this time last December, and that was the main thing he talked about was his speed. He goes, Cam has elite speed. Anytime he gets into the open space with the ball in his hands, nobody's going to catch him. And if he's trying to run somebody down, he's normally going to get there. So, again, that's another kind of addition you can kind of say for how, although we didn't see him on the field as a freshman, he was obviously still getting work in, with the strength and conditioning, getting his speed up. I'm just really excited to see what the 2025 season looks like for him. So what you think? Quentin was kind of second?
Well,
that
real
top
quick,
three. Go ahead.
Shelly said, wait, no names. Do the players know? Yes, the players know. I think that Coach Reyes just cropped out the players' names
for
just
sure.
to build intrigue.
Hell yeah.
That he did it pretty damn well.
Yeah, he did.
The top three wide receivers at the top. I think we're right in Cam Michael and Quentin Gibson being up there. Who would you say is the third? I think it's Adrian Wilson.
Ooh. Quanell?
Could be Quanell as well.
Adrian Wilson makes sense. Although I feel like he's more shifty.
I just remember when I talked to EJ, the guy who calls all his games out there, he said the jump he made from last year to this year in terms of just being able to take a slant to the house is jaw-dropping.
Yep. The DB's Colton Hood?
Has to be, right?
Gotta be.
Yep.
The linebacker, though. How about that one?
A linebacker running 22
very
miles
intriguing.
per hour.
Yeah.
That's very intriguing.
This takes me back, though. What was our guy? He was
Demoy Kennedy?
Yeah, Demoy Kennedy. Demoy Kennedy put up a crazy number like this in spring. So we got overly hyped.
So you remember when we were talking about YouTube the other day, and I was like, that's like the main kind of application that I use. And I swear a short from DNVR came up on my timeline, my YouTube timeline. It was when y'all had Dylan on the show. Dylan Evers on the show.
Yeah.
And y'all were asking him about the top times, and y'all were talking about Demoy, and that just made me think about it. That was hilarious. I literally saw that maybe last week.
That is crazy.
But I bet I'm gonna say I think it's Reggie Hughes. Based on what I've seen on film, bro looks like he, looks like a true edge rusher that can, play inside linebacker. He looks like a freakishly athletic dude. So that would be my guess. 22 miles per hour from inside linebacker that's crazy. And that's something I think this linebacker spot kind of needed, with some real speed, sideline to sideline ability. Yep. Not that they didn't really have it last year in Nakai, but that's something that it's gonna be necessary here in 2025 for that defense.
Reggie Hughes is listed at 6'2", 240. If that's true, that is absurd.
Who are the other options at linebacker?
Martavius French.
Mm-hmm.
He's listed
What's he listed at?
6'2", 225.
Okay.
It could be Jalen Wester.
It could be Jay West. Kylan Salter is 6'2", 225 as well. Jay West is listed at 6', 205. This is from last year's roster, though.
Right.
JB is also 6'2", 225. Gage Goldberg is 6', 210. Kyron Garcia, is Kyron still on the team? I think he is.
I think so.
6', 215. And then we've got, of course...
so Reg Hughes has 15 pounds on every other linebacker.
Yeah, and then Mantrez is also 6'1", 225.
Okay. Although it doesn't look like 15 pounds the way that I think of 15 pounds.
Right.
That's all muscle. Whoever it is, that's exciting and intriguing. And I will say, being fast doesn't make you a great linebacker.
Sure.
But if you can be fast and be a great linebacker, you become a weapon.
No, for real.
100%. You become a matchup eraser on the football field.
Yep.
Just not having to go to nickel and dime in as many situations. If it's a true three down linebacker. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There are also 2 running backs on this list. They're kind of middle to the end of this list, but 21.51 miles an hour and 21.22 miles an hour. Isaiah and Dallin.
Yeah. I mean, is Brandon Hood still around?
Brandon Hood is still around. You're right. So he's probably one of them for sure. Yeah.
I would say Brandon Hood and Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah was also in that video on Reach the People looking like a problem. And he kind of seemed like his first year at Colorado, like, you know, he was kind of maybe taking a back seat in terms of being like a vocal kind of leader. But in the video yesterday, the workouts yesterday, I mean, bro was out there talking his stuff, you know, challenging people. And he looks fast. Like, I'll never forget, like, Dukes told me, again, around this time last year, that he saw a lot of Dylan Edwards and Isaiah Gustav's game. And, like, people might be like, I don't know. They kind of have a different style. But if you watch Isaiah Gustav his freshman year at Arkansas, like, you can really see the similarities. And I think he put on a decent amount of weight, good weight, you know, going into the 2024 season at Colorado. But the speed is very much still within Isaiah Gustav. And he's kind of added, you know, kind of the weight to be kind of maybe a 3-down back potentially. But dude is crazy fast. And I'm willing to bet he's one of those 2 running backs in that top 10 or 12 or whatever. And
I'm pretty sure that Isaiah Gustav has the only long touchdown run of the Coach Prime era.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He flashed it there.
I'm pretty sure Dallin was also a track guy too, though.
Might have been.
There's a lot of wide receivers on this list, guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which, I mean, Draylen's probably in there. If Joseph Williams is in there too, like
6 receivers running better than 21 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Very crazy.
Very intriguing stuff. Multiple defensive backs too. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Just built in the regular image of a Coach Prime team.
Yeah, I mean,
stud wide receivers and defensive backs.
And we're not there yet, but I really think Colorado has the capability of becoming that next speed team under Coach Prime. You know, the early 2010s Oregon teams that were just like, if you are a track athlete football player, like you're going to Oregon. That's the way it was back then. I don't think they quite have that as much. They're always obviously going to have speed. I don't know if there's a team right now that's known as like the speed team. I think Colorado has an opportunity to brand themselves in that way.
You're right. I mean, just trying to think through teams like Alabama, I think was kind of that for a while when they had, you know, Jalen Waddles and the Henry Ruggs types coming through.
Jameson Williams
as well. But yeah, there's not like any of those like Chip Kelly Oregon teams out there right now where
it's like
there's like 5 guys. You're like, okay, he can't get in space.
Yeah, it's just anytime you let a guy get to the second level, it's 6.
Cooked.
Who was that? So they had why am I blanking on my guy? Who I was comparing Q to. D'Anthony Thomas. They had remember LaMichael James?
Yes.
He was fast as hell when he got into the open field.
Yeah.
They had I feel like they had another running back who was even faster.
They had one. Do you remember Travis Dye?
Yep. That was a little
later.
later.
More recently, right?
He was recent. He went to USC and then he was really small and I think had a bad knee injury, but he was quick too.
Yeah, they were just printing speed.
They got some. I mean, have you seen what Tez Johnson is doing at the Senior Bowl this week?
Cooking folks.
He's just absolutely cooking kids. So, yeah, that's a good observation. Colorado really can take advantage of that.
And I feel like they can definitely get that reputation too if Caden can flash his speed on different occasions. Like, damn, the quarterback got speed too. I feel like that can potentially add to that narrative as well. If they got speed, receiver, DB, linebacker potentially, running back, quarterback, I think that could definitely add to it for sure.
So true. I mean, Mariota, back then.
Exactly.
Like, when you are stressed about speed from all angles of a team, it is so hard to defend them.
Definitely.
Omari and Miller quote tweeted this, said, "Y'all should know which is mine." So,
is he claiming the top speed?
That did make me think. I'm not gonna lie.
No one says that. But y'all should know I was fourth.
Right.
How do you not know I'm fourth?
It did make me think. But I don't know.
If he's coming off a broken ankle and hitting that is like Wolverine type shit.
Bro. I can't remember if it was one of my predictions on the show or in the article or both, that Omari and Miller becomes a superstar. I think that was in the article, 25 predictions. If this man is running damn near 24 miles per hour,
it's over.
It's a wrap.
Yep.
Colton Hood responded to that with laughing emojis. so who knows?
These damn kids.
Literally.
Let's take our first break, and then we'll get to Shrine Bowl stuff. Shout out Circle K, our homies on the road. That is Toyota. There's Circle K. Join the Inner Circle. Tons of great deals on there. You get your first 5 fill-ups, 25 cents off a gallon, every 6th item free. Rollers, drinks, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you download the Circle K app and sign up for the Inner Circle to get in on all those exclusive offers today. All you need is an email address and a phone number. It's super quick and easy to sign up. And the deals are just going to start rolling in as soon as you do that.
Also, shout out to our friends. What?
Go ahead.
I
was just going to say scan the QR code or sign up in the app.
Oh, sorry. Of course.
He's a little rusty, bro. Give him a little time. It's been a couple days.
I'm excited. I'm excited to tell the people about Kerr's Lot. It's Friday.
Sure is.
No better time to crack open a couple ice cold Kerr's Lots. You could do it down here at the DNVR bar. We got a double header today. And I believe the teams don't overlap. I can't remember which one's at 5:30, which one's at 7, but the Avs and Nuggets both play tonight. And the games don't fully overlap, which means you can come down here and from about 5:30 to 10, just be pounding Kerr's Lots. It's honestly, if you guys haven't been down here, I've been running into a couple people. I'm like, I've heard of DNVR. I haven't been down to the bar yet. A night like tonight, if you're not going to wait for the playoffs, a night like tonight is literally the best time to come to DNVR. And it's also the best time to drink some ice cold Coors Light. So go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. And you can have Coors Light delivered straight to your door, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. And if they don't, you should have a lot of questions for them. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Shrine Bowl was last night, and I think overall it was disappointing. But as I tweeted last night too, the boys did their thing in practice this week. I'm sure they impressed.
That's the most
in
important
meetings.
part, by the way.
100%. I'm sure they impressed in meetings, but they certainly impressed on the field with what they did, at least the wide receivers. Bummer that Cam was out. I think he's just a little banged up, but he's going to be fine. Shilo did his thing, though. This is what we were waiting on from Shilo and kind of what we talked about throughout the whole practices and stuff. He's not going to be able to do this stuff in practice where it's not really physical, they're not playing live.
Yeah.
But he showed exactly what he does. He had a nice PBU, was getting some tackles, had a big stop that I think it was on a 3rd down or something. It was.
Forced a punt.
Yep. So Shilo did his thing, but this is just those all-star games, man.
Well, and I would say the game was probably more important for Shilo than anyone else
100%.
because that is his MO. And it is so dumb watching people try to cook him for one-on-ones in practice.
Yep.
If you've ever watched one-on-ones, the defense gets cooked a large amount of the time.
Yes.
And it's honestly just really impressive anytime that they don't.
Right.
Because they have no help, inside, outside, nothing to count on.
No rush.
It's just a total disadvantage for them. So he had to go out there and show what he does. And I felt like he represented himself very well.
He did.
And I think it was part of the reason why, I think we talked about it last week, why I said Shilo, I think, had the most to gain. And I think he did pretty much everything he could. He got a lot of opportunity last night in terms of playing time. I believe he started. He was in there pretty much the whole game to the very end, if I'm not mistaken. Had a pass deflection. Obviously made some plays in the run game. You mentioned the stop on 3rd down, which was a nice hit. and that's huge. Who was it? The director of operations for the Shrine Bowl yesterday was on Good Morning Football talking about the fact that Shilo quickly established himself as a leader for the West team's defense, and we kind of saw remnants of that. Yesterday, obviously starting and, again, being out there pretty much the whole time, making plays and whatnot. But it was pretty disappointing, especially how excited we were about seeing these receivers get a chance to kind of showcase their skills last night. But obviously, Jimmy didn't play. Will and LeJounte were out there. Will had a really nice catch on the opening drive, maybe the third or fourth play of the game. 20-yard kind of back shoulder, kind of contested catch away from his body, which was a nice play. That was pretty much his only action. LeJounte caught a short pass for about 4 or 5 yards. Drew a really nice pass interference. I mean, did bro dirty. Yeah. It was like a slot fade or maybe a corner route. Just got right past him. Dude just held him. They threw the flag. So I'm sure NFL guys are gonna notice that. But yeah, it was really just the quarterback play, the offensive line play for the West team that just kind of ruined any opportunity these receivers had to really, make some hay, which sucks. But they did, like you said, though, they did their work throughout the week. They did what they came to do.
Yeah, and you don't really see that stuff coming, too, because, they do, when they run team in practice this week, they're, of course, running against their own, the West defense is playing the West offense, and they're installing plays and stuff, too, and It is a game. Like, these coaches, you saw that they had an offensive lineman throw a pass and stuff. Like, they put little wrinkles in the playbook. So it's just sometimes one team just gets caught off guard from whatever perspective. And this one, it just seemed to be offensive line play and defensive line play that really hamstrung the West. They were shut out for damn near most of the game. They hit a field goal right at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Where was Jimmy? I don't know. If I had to guess, I think he's banged up a little bit too, but.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Someone in the comments asked, is it true that the Steelers told Jimmy not to play? That would shock me.
Jimmy Horn met with all 32 teams at the Shrine Bowl.
For sure.
Every player meets with all teams at the Shrine Bowl.
But I would be surprised to see a team tell a kid, don't play because we're going to draft you in the third round or whatever,
In January.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if the Steelers draft him, on day 2.
I hope they don't. I'm not gonna lie.
Then I will say, all right, maybe that was true. Otherwise, I've never heard anything like that.
We were talking earlier this week, RK, about kind of potential ideal landing spots for these receivers, and for all of them, I talked about a good quarterback, a really good play caller. The Steelers would go 0 for 2 in that department for Jimmy, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean. You think about all these guys, and it's just scary to imagine them being added to a team that already has an established offense.
Yep.
The one that I want to see the least for any of them is the Chiefs.
Yep.
But it's just like, LeJounte Wester going out there.
Oh, my God.
And that offense would just be sick. And what's crazy is that every team is going to have an opportunity to draft these guys.
Yes, they are. All 32.
And that scares the hell out of me. Because I'm just like, when it comes to the Broncos division, any of those teams, well, not the Raiders, but even the Chargers, I don't want to see them go there either. Because, again, quarterback could get on the ball, play caller who could scheme it up. And, but that's what's cool about it. The Bengals are probably going to be looking to add to their receiving group.
Yep.
Yeah. Any of those guys playing with Burrow.
I thought Will Shepherd would fit great there. I mean, if they lose T. Higgins, that's exactly what Will Shepherd is.
The Bills.
For sure. I mean, LeJounte with the Bills.
I know.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's I've been thinking about that a lot. Jimmy Horn on the Lions.
That's crazy, dog.
You have Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, and Jimmy Horn on the field all at the same time.
Absurd.
Well, Amon-Ra and Laporta. Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Broncos have a chance. So do the Bears. We have a chance to get a Colorado Buffalo.
Broncos could use any of these guys.
100%. Oh, yeah. Will did play. He probably had the best week out of anyone. I mean, showed it in practices damn near every day and then had the big play in the game. But LeJounte, what he did on special teams in the game yesterday, too, took the opening kickoff 35, 40 yards. Fair caught a few punts, but he's doesn't really have to do anything else, in my opinion, honestly. Just keep on staying the course, go through the interviews. If you don't want to run at the combine, that's fine. Do your thing at the pro day, and I'm sure that LeJounte is going to be highly coveted in April.
Yep.
Oh, God.
All right. Coach Prime is the leading candidate for a job that isn't even open. Can you explain?
You guys ever heard of clicks?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. This came out today from Pat Leonard, who is an NFL columnist and a Giants beat writer for NYDN Sports.
New York Daily News.
Yeah, look at you. Quote, it's not difficult to connect the dots. Deion Sanders will immediately become a candidate to be the Giants' next head coach if the team drafts his son, Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, in April. I read that headline, and it took me about 2 minutes. I was like, the Giants have a head coach vacancy right now? And then I was like, wait, no, they don't. They literally have the NFL Coach of the Year from 2 years ago as their head coach right now. And then I just started laughing because I was like, I bet you this article is doing numbers right now.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers.
Yeah, it's insane. And this is just what it is when you have Coach Prime as your head coach. Everyone's speculating who's going to get fired next that Coach Prime will be a candidate for.
Yep.
Of course, the Shedeur link, too. The Giants, if they do draft him third overall, it's going to be endless. Whoever drafts Shedeur,
Whoever drafts him.
This is going to be endless.
Whoever drafts him, that head coach is immediately on the hot seat.
Yeah, 100%.
Immediately.
Yeah, and I mean, it just goes back to what we've talked about a lot. It's just funny that going from Coach Prime can't coach to Coach Prime is a leading candidate for several NFL jobs.
Yep. Never
But
ends.
and it's true. It is true. I don't disagree with the sentiment.
You can't.
But
You kind of can't.
the next coach win
Right.
because Shedeur is going to ball out, and that's going to give Brian Dable a lot of job security,
Yep.
Yeah.
in my opinion. If he went to the
Does that happen often?
Giants.
The quarterback kind of looks good as a rookie and a coach still gets fired? Does
No.
that happen?
No.
Oh, man. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
The one that happened here, which really bothered me at the time, was not a head coach but an offensive coordinator. Drew
Yeah.
Lock came in, went 4-1 with the Broncos in the last 5 games of the season, and then they fired the offensive coordinator, Rich Scangarello, to bring in Pat Shurmur, actually.
Wow.
And at the time, regardless of the Shurmur hire, I was just like, what are we doing? Like, there's
Yeah.
clearly, and T.C. McCartney was the quarterback's coach, and I was like, there's clearly, they're vibing.
Something's working here.
Yeah,
Right.
let it go. Let them work. But I guess, that specific scenario, the report was that the offensive coordinator and the head coach didn't get along.
Interesting.
Did this happen to Baker? Did they fire the head coach his rookie year and then promote
Definitely.
Freddie Kitchens, right?
Definitely.
I think that might have been his sophomore year.
His second year?
I think. And then they fired Freddie Kitchens after 1 year.
Yep. And then Baker was let go.
Yeah, because I remember, he had it was like a thing. He had like 5-6 different like head coaches, coordinators, like his first 5-6 years in the league.
I think every season he's had in the
Right.
Yeah, every season he's had in the NFL, he's had a different OC.
Yeah.
And y'all wonder why Coach Prime might not want him to go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Jake's coming around, bro. Jake's coming around. That it might,
I
might
saw-
be a little spot. It might
I
be a
saw
decent spot.
an article that was pointing out all the connections between the Sanders and people on that staff.
In Cleveland?
Yep. And there was some interesting stuff in there. So maybe they're not on the list.
I've been trying to tell you, it's not the worst spot in the world.
Well, it surfaced again yesterday too. Romy talked to Coach Prime at last year's Super Bowl. Did you guys see this? And she asked him, what was your favorite Super Bowl memory? And it was when Coach Prime, I think, was on the Niners and they were beating the hell out of the Chargers in the Super Bowl. And Bill Musgrave was the backup
Yes.
quarterback. And Coach Prime told him, get Billy in. Bill Musgrave's the quarterback's coach at Cleveland right now.
Yes, that's exactly one of the connections that I was talking about.
Yes.
Billy Muss, Colorado legend. From Colorado.
He is Grand Junction. I just saw.
Wow. Well, I just learned something new.
Also, one of my favorite quotes of all time when I was at a press conference came from Bill Musgrave when he's the offensive coordinator of the Broncos. And he was asked, like, first question was, should you run the ball more? He's like, yeah, I do think we need to run the ball more. Second question was like, do you think that, like, you need to get more touches for Philip Lindsay? He's like, yes, I do think that we should probably try and get. And like the third one was like, does running the ball like help unlock a quarter? And he just goes, I do think we should run the ball. I second the fucking motion.
Hell yeah.
I'm dead.
I can do whatever I want.
Let's take our next break. Then we got a few more things to get to. Shout out Bet365, the best book in terms of betting on football. So get ready. Put all your Super Bowl bets in over with our friends at Bet365. They go crazy when it comes to Super Bowl props, all sorts of bets and stuff that you can get in on. So go check it out. And if you're a new customer, sign up with the code DNVR365. Deposit $10, place a bet of $5, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets directly into your account if your bet wins or loses. These bonus bets can be used on pretty much anything on there. If there's a line, you can use a bonus bet. Spread, totals, player props, futures, SGPs, and more. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Also, if you haven't heard, DNVR Sports is now live on TV. In addition to watching us on YouTube or listening on DNVR podcast platforms, you can now catch DNVR on various streaming platforms, making it easier than ever to check out your favorite shows. These include Samsung TV Plus, where we're channel 2348, Xfinity, where we're channel 4072, Xumo Play, so many more. And really all you got to do is say DNVR Sports into your remote or search for DNVR on there. You got to check this out. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, and you're a YouTube vet, then you're probably going to stick with us here. But if you're someone who uses the smart TV, free TV channels on there a lot, you can find us on there, make it nice and convenient for you. So check us out on your television.
Last thing on the Shrine Bowl. Did you guys hear or see Shedeur's interview with Jane Slater?
Yeah.
Nope.
I think it's one of the best interviews Shedeur has done recently, for sure, but maybe since he's been in college. Because she kind of asked him on all this stuff that, the misconceptions that people have. And Shedeur really just said, I'm just like a cool, humble dude. I'm actually really chill. And it came through really well in that interview. So I just figured it was worth mentioning that.
Hell yeah. I like how he said at the end too, when she was like, I even learned something about you today. And he was like, yeah, don't listen to the people out. Don't listen to the outside noise.
Yep.
Get it straight from the source. I agree. That was probably one of his better interviews. And yeah, that's something that I know NFL front offices are taking notes on. It might not mean everything, but it means 1%, I bet, in terms of his evaluation for sure.
100%. And, one of the things that we said before the Shrine Bowl that I think aged really well was that we said Shedeur is really going to shine through in these interviews.
Yes.
And all of the reports from Brian Callahan or anyone else that spoke with them was, Shedeur really, shined in the interview process, and people liked his personality and they liked everything about him. And it's just like, yeah. And you start to think to yourself, why do people have that negative image of him? Because he threw his watch up. Mm-hmm. He had a cool celebration. Think about if people were saying that about Jamar Chase for doing the gritty. Or Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Just hand the ball to the ref.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But it's that, obviously he's really confident.
Yes.
Confident player. He talks this mess on the field sometimes. Everyone loves that when that's on their team.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you have to be that confident to be where he's trying to go.
Yes.
A franchise cornerstone, the face of a franchise, the kind of the leading, a team up really from an abyss. Because wherever he's going, that franchise has not seen a lot of success, not seen a lot of wins in recent history. So it's going to take a special type of individual, obviously a special type of football player as well, to, do what he's capable of doing. And yeah, all that comes with it.
We got a new mock draft from NFL.com's Eric Edholm. He's a lead draft writer for the site. And he got creative with it. First overall.
We've reached that part of the draft process, huh?
We're getting there.
Creative mock draft.
Yeah.
Creative with it.
First overall, generational talent, Abdul Carter.
Okay.
I feel like that's becoming common.
It's all part of the process.
I feel like that's becoming common.
Yeah.
I do think he's one of the best 4 players in this draft, though.
He is.
No doubt.
Generational, I think, is pretty strong, though.
It's the 2 quarterbacks, Travis and him, for sure.
Yes.
Generational is so far beyond pretty strong. He's a really good pass rusher.
Yeah, I'm not co-signing the generational thing. I'm just saying he's really good.
It's not even close to the Myles Garrett buzz when he was going first overall or anything.
Nowhere near.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Von Miller.
Sure. I mean, Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson a couple years ago. Like, that was a real debate.
Yeah.
Who would go number one?
Yeah, I don't think either of them were considered generational,
No.
and I think for good reason.
Right.
But I felt like there was just more like general buzz around the players than there
Yeah.
was around Abdul Carter at this point. Second overall, he's got the Cleveland Browns selecting Travis Hunter.
Interesting.
Third overall, he's got the New York Giants selecting Cam Ward. How far do you think we have to go to get to Shedeur here?
Probably 6 at Raiders. I feel like that's common.
6 to the Raiders, he's got Ashton Genty.
Who is this again?
Okay.
Whose mock is this?
Eric Edholm, he's the lead NFL draft writer for NFL.com.
Okay.
Okay.
Shedeur, they
Jets
got
at 7?
Jets at 7.
That's what I
Shedeur
said.
Sanders.
Oh.
That's what I said.
We
in
have
one of
not
the
talked
roundtables.
about that
I had that
this
on
one very
roundtable.
much, though. Why do you like it?
Well, originally,
No.
originally I wrote about it because, I mean, look at the talent around him. I mean, the offensive line is probably about league average at this point, which could get better. But, I mean, you're able to throw to Garrett Wilson. You're going to have Breece Hall, to hand the ball up to. The defense is literally legitimate, like top 10 potential.
Yeah.
They just, I mean, this was before, obviously, I wrote this before they hired Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be a really good head coach. And I think also, too, Aaron Glenn and Shedeur Sanders would vibe together as a head coach kind of quarterback duo. And obviously, too, I mean, they don't have a quarterback. I mean, assuming Aaron Rodgers is going to either retire or they're going to tell him to freak off, I would assume they're going to need a quarterback. And again,
That
that
was for
team,
you, Yaya.
that team has plenty of talent. That's also a winnable division as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, people are going to say that that's the Bills division, but that's still a winnable division to me. So, I don't think the Jets are the worst landing spot. But I would be surprised if he fell to 7, though.
If he falls to 7, I don't think he falls to 7 because I think if he falls past
Right.
3, someone is making a move who needs a quarterback.
And I think in what I wrote was that the Jets would be trading up to draft Shedeur. I don't think he would fall to 7.
But also, I'm pretty sure Garrett Wilson wants out.
He's been
might-
liking a lot of Broncos stuff I've been seeing.
I bet if he get win a day from the draft Shedeur, he ain't going out.
Yeah, for sure. He would not go past the Giants at 3, in my opinion. Did you see that, Dap?
Yep.
That was not a first ever Dap.
Nope.
They did that a couple of times.
They're familiar. The spring game date is out.
Love that.
And we got an earlier one this year. How
No.
about that? No.
Earlier.
Yeah.
We need later.
True.
Why?
Because the weather.
It's gonna be cold.
The weather has just been random the
Give me
last
the
2
spring
years.
game in June.
No, for real.
That's not spring.
It is. The first half of June is.
I think you're right, bro.
Saturday, April 19th is a spring game this year. So that means spring football basically starts 6 weeks before that, with spring break kind of breaking it up in between there.
Interesting.
All right.
So
I would say
about a month, 5 weeks-ish away from football, really, for us.
hell yeah.
It all goes by so fast.
It's insane.
Would y'all agree that Isaiah Harge is potentially the story of the spring game this
Bro,
past year?
100%.
we should have mentioned Isaiah in the fastest
have.
players.
We should have.
Yeah, we should have.
I think he could have easily have been one of the top 3.
No doubt.
It was either Harge or LeJonte, because LeJonte had a great spring game last year.
True. He did.
Oh yeah.
Who would y'all, if y'all had to guess right now, who ends up being the story
Ooh.
of the 2025 spring game?
Omarion Miller.
It's a
I'm
good
hitching
one.
my wagon.
I see what you're doing there. I get it.
Can I just throw a blanket, say one of the freshman wide receivers?
Sure.
Okay.
I
Q.
think, yeah, Q, Adrian, or Quentin Gibson will have a big game. I hope it's Michael Welch, actually.
I just think both of these quarterbacks are going to find such a security blanket in Omarion Miller. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to see them fall in love with just giving him a chance. And in a spring game, you're going to see a lot of one-on-one opportunities. And I think he's going to go eat.
I think it's going to be a sophomore, another blanket kind of answer. So that could be
Traylon
multiple
Cam.
guys.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a sophomore. Somebody who maybe got some opportunity as a true freshman, but
One quarterback is going to end up being the story.
100%.
yeah, you hope so.
Yeah, I guess, or both of the quarterbacks of the story.
Right.
That's going to be a fun day for that quarterback battle. That'll be like the actual first
look.
Starting gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, who takes the lead into the summer. Last thing I got, CBS Sports wrote grades for second-year head coaches in college football. At the top,
How many are there?
this is quite a bit.
That does look like a pretty long list.
For Power 4, so it's
So are they grading their first 2 years on the job?
Yes,
I swear to God, if Deion Sanders isn't at the top of this.
he's not.
Not the, I mean, I can accept like the top area.
Sure.
He is
That's why I want to know how many there are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
third, I think.
Okay.
He's
All right.
third.
So Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny Dillingham is in front. He's the top one with an A.
Although I would make the argument that on the whole, the body of work, Deion Sanders has done a better job getting Colorado from where they were to where they are now.
Absolutely.
So I think I can make the case for number one. While I did support the decision of Kenny Dillingham being coach of the year this year because I think he did the best job of getting his team from where they were last year to where they were this year.
100%. Second place is Jeff Brom at Louisville, though. 19-8 over the last 2 seasons. I mean, Louisville, not really a program that had to be undergo a rebuild.
That's wrong.
And then it's Deion Sanders with a B+. Those are your top 3. Georgia Tech.
Is there a blurb?
Yeah.
Read me the blurb.
The second verse was much better than the first, while Deion Sanders generated plenty of headlines and buzz at Colorado in his first season. A 4-8 mark after a hot start led to plenty of skepticism heading into 2024. The Buffs answered by going 7-2 in the Big 12. Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy, and Shedeur Sander solidified his status as one of the best quarterbacks in the country. The upcoming season will be interesting as Sanders' first year coaching without one of his sons on the team.
Could have saved a lot of words by just saying I never paid attention to Colorado football before he got there, and so I don't understand the full context of what happened.
Do you want to guess who wrote it?
You're talking about the no. You're talking about the 4-8 season as if it was a failure when it was actually a massive success.
Yes.
And that's why you gave him a B+ instead of an A.
Yep.
You don't understand the full scope of the situation.
Yep.
Was it Bud Elliott?
No, it was one of his buddies, though.
What's his name?
Tom Fernelli.
That has to be in the A category. That's not even debatable, I don't think, by anyone.
I mean, no one else could have done what has happened the last 2 years here at Colorado. It's Coach Prime, and then it's an ocean between the next person who would have had any success here.
and again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I watched a ton of Louisville football over the last couple of years, but I feel like myself and a lot of the college football world looks at Louisville how we looked at them 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like they're a solid program.
Louisville,
19 wins in 2 seasons does sound pretty good, but I don't know if they were ever at the lowest of lows like Colorado, like Arizona State was.
The year they fired Scott Satterfield in 2022, they went 8-5.
Yeah, give me a break.
Yeah,
give me a
that's
break.
crazy.
Louisville is Texas Tech.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to have a couple up seasons.
Definitely.
Their down seasons are like 5-win floors.
Right.
Respect to the job that he's done there. 19 wins in 2 seasons is legit, but
For real.
it doesn't compare to dragging a team out of the literal gutter and getting them to 9 wins.
He is above Matt Rule on this list, who only got a C+.
Of course.
Yeah.
C+ may be a little generous after this 2024 season.
Yeah, is he up to
He is 12 and
11
13.
wins? Oh, okay.
So
because
Coach,
they won the bowl game.
yeah, Coach has 1 win over them.
Okay.
That is pretty much all I got today, fellas. Let's go to the chat, Toyota chat, and super chats. Wayne with the super chat. Shout out Jake and Scotty ending the show yesterday with the chat. Was hilarious and fun. Awesome job, gentlemen. FDP is the MVP. Sup, yeah. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate you, brother.
I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were definitely just shooting the shit at the end of the show.
He's about to get to it here.
Oh.
To women's basketball, RK
WBRK
recap
from yesterday. 1, Scotty eats his pizza with a what?
With a fork. It's not true.
Okay.
I did mention though that you do eat deep dish pizza potentially with a fork, but
yes,
that's it.
Okay. Yep. Fair. to Jake's take on the 3-meat pizza.
Yeah, that was crazy. Bro just walked right into
I
that,
can't
bro.
even. No, I can't even. Scotty literally just asked me what type of pizza I like, so I started saying what type of pizzas I like.
But it was
That's the
hilarious.
story.
That is the story. But it was funny because the chat said it before he did, bro. I was like, "What kind of pizza you like?" And somebody in the chat was like,
Meat
"I bet
lovers."
Jake loves meat lovers pizza." And then bro literally says it right after, like, "I don't know. I kind of like 3." I was like, "Never, bro."
Damn. I mean, it's great pizza.
Crazy.
I mean,
it is.
can't disagree.
Also, it said, RK, that you eat your corn on the cob with no hands? What? Are you going to explain this, or is that just completely
No,
made
I
up?
have no idea where that came from.
That is, bro.
I'm down to try.
I'm just getting a visual now, though, bro. Just like going down on the cob, bro. No,
Those are going down,
Yeah,
bro.
going down on the
Right, that was
cob.
crazy. That was why. Pause. But I can just see bro with a bib on, bro, just going crazy on a corner cob, bro. That was wild.
That's insane. Literally insane that you would even say that.
Oh Lord. D-Mills says I didn't make it very long watching the Shrine game. Any good highlights?
Nope.
I
We
tweeted,
talked about him.
man.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I think Scotty and I both tweeted out the Will Shepherd and the Shilo play, so
Yeah.
that's kind of it, really.
The Will Shepherd play was also a sick route design. There's a double move, back shoulder. It's like you hit that double move, then the corner's instantly like, oh, I better go.
Yep.
And you hit him with the back shoulder.
Break it off.
Kamada, what is the combined weight of the offensive line of CU? All right, let's do this on the fly here.
You can do everybody or like a starting 5 or what?
Somewhere around 1,585 pounds, my guess.
So Jordan is he's listed at 285.
He's not 280.
He's not 285.
Just round him up to 3.
Should we?
I think so.
Okay. So we'll give Jordan 300. Cash or Zarian McGill?
For the sake of this argument, maybe go with the heavier guy.
Yeah.
Zarian McGill. He's 308. Let's go with Philip Houston, I guess.
Yeah,
Cardi
right tackle.
Smith?
Yeah.
Philip Houston only listed at 250.
No,
Nah.
that was wrong. That was part of the reason why everyone freaked out.
270.
True.
Yeah. Call it 270.
Like, how are we going to have a 250-pound tackle? He's not. 250,
Chauncey
y'all.
Gooden, I guess.
Who else?
We need 2 guards here, guys.
Just go TB and somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. TB is listed at 310.
I was a little high on my prediction.
Let's go with Chauncey. He is listed at 320.
Oh, dang. I'm close.
1508.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
not
said
bad.
1575, I think.
That ain't bad. Does the field condition determine the speed of the receivers, turf versus grass? It might.
Absolutely.
Fly on turf.
It honestly, and I know everyone's very pro grass in this day and age in more ways than one. Shout out Live Well. I thought of it as a potential reason why we were winning so much on the road
Playing on turf? Interesting.
with a speed team.
So Arizona was turf.
Yep.
UCF was grass, I think, though.
Okay.
Help me out here. Where else?
Texas Tech is turf, I think.
Yep.
Nebraska.
Nebraska was turf, I think, right?
I would guess it's grass, but I don't remember.
And then CSU.
Well, what was TCU?
CSU is turf, I think.
TCU's turf?
Yes, CSU's turf. I stood on that field for a wedding. What was it?
TCU.
TCU's turf.
Interesting. Bill Belichick ripped out the turf at UNC. Did you see that?
And that's the downside of turf and why everyone's against it right now. It's because it's believed to cause more injury.
Yeah.
All right.
Easy does it. Is Quentin Gibson there at CU yet? Yes, he is. Who's faster, Speedy Gonzalez versus the Roadrunner, acceleration versus innate?
You're aging out, Scotty here.
Hey, chill. I know. I think I know.
Man.
Hey,
What I saw from the Roadrunner, that was generational speed.
Yeah. I mean, it's a blur.
He really was.
I'm going with the guy with speed in his name.
All right. Told you aged him out.
Oh God! Period. Period. Like, come on now. Come on now.
Awesome.
Shelly asked, was the whole team measured for speed? I'd imagine whoever was at practice or workouts yesterday, yeah. They do that throughout the offseason. I'm sure we'll get more of those. Big Teasy, why y'all don't be drinking Coors Light during the show? Because it is...
Great question.
We start the show at 12:15 p.m.
I mean, we have drank several Coors Lights on
Yes.
shows before, most of them being pre or post game shows that happen in the
And
evening.
most of them on the bus, really.
Yeah.
It's 5
I
o'clock
miss the
somewhere.
bus so desperately.
I said that yesterday, bro.
Soon enough.
Yep.
Yep, we already got that one.
This is also a great question.
D-Mills, how do you get shut out in an all-star game?
Quarterback was crazy.
Yeah,
dog.
quarterback. And I think they just messed up the balance of the team, honestly.
I think that's what I think so too. Watching it, it was like, yeah, it's whoever set this up didn't set this up equally.
Yep.
Bro, I'll never forget the first Senior Bowl we went to. The Broncos were coaching it
Yep.
with Vance Joseph and staff, and they got the stacked roster.
They had the quarterbacks, right?
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They had Baker Mayfield.
Damn.
They had a bunch of really good prospects, and they got blown out in the game. And I was like, this is a really bad sign. Like, I was like, I don't want to overreact to our coach losing this game where his roster was stacked, but that's really bad.
Honestly,
and then
bro,
the next year for the Broncos was really, really, really
It was
bad,
really
and
bad.
he got fired.
and I don't want to bring, bro, I swear to God, bro, I had a similar thought when the West team's head coach came out for the halftime interview yesterday. And obviously he's from the Giants.
Right.
And I was like, this dude just looks lost. Like, he looks like he's coaching a losing team. He look like he don't know how to fix it. So that kind of gave me some pause, and especially after hearing that story right there about
I think
Vance.
the other team that year, like their best quarterback was like Kyle Lauletta.
Wow.
And we had
He won
Baker
MVP of the game, I think.
And we had Baker and Josh Allen on
Yeah.
our side.
That's crazy.
Smuggles asked, will the Broncos put some respect on my team, please?
Is that what? I don't think that's what that said.
It's not a bad name.
Yes, it is, bro.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Will the Broncos draft any Buffs, y'all think?
I guarantee you that's coming from a Broncos fan, by the way.
So you would use that as a
It's a
term of like endearment?
Yeah. Literally, if
That's crazy.
if you look at like my text with Bryce, it'll be like, "What are you doing for the Donks game?"
Okay. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's our word. Only we can say it. One of those things.
I'm still going to opt out, though. I respect my team, the mighty Denver Broncos. Put some respect on
Wait,
them.
what was that question though?
It was,
Did
will
they-
they draft any Buffs?
Hopefully they draft LeJohntay or Jimmy or Will.
I mean, we
Shit.
saw George Payton at the open practice.
Yep,
He was very sad that Travis wasn't practicing.
he was. Oh, man. Could you imagine? Demetrius, which CU player has a chance playing on that Cowboys field to include defense, special team? Mate is looking for a team as well. All of them. Most of them.
Yeah. What did Shedeur say that people were overanalyzing last night? Like, I'll be playing against this team
Yeah, because
soon?
Jane asked him we're in Cowboy Stadium. I know your dad didn't play here, but how's it feel to be? And he's like, yeah, I'll be playing here really soon, soon.
I think people took that to mean
For the Cowboys.
Yes,
But
no.
Okay.
I don't.
Because I think he specifically said against the Cowboys too in his answer.
Yes,
He
and I
did.
think people
Right,
took
he
that
did.
to mean like, oh, he thinks he's going to the Giants for sure or whatever.
Right.
And like someone actually went through and was like, Titans don't play there next year, Browns don't play there next year. I just think he's saying like, I'm gonna be in the league soon.
exactly. Yes,
But he does like to play those games. So
he does.
He is his father's son for
someone
sure.
asked me this weekend or this week at the conference I was at, like, was that thing about him wearing Giants shoes real? And I was like, yep, he did that.
Did you? I was just about to say something. Never mind.
Say it.
Nope.
I did appreciate though that it was a story about a Sanders and there was question about whether it was real or not. It's like, I appreciate
Yes.
you for having your
real.
antenna up.
Jay wants to know the difference between the Senior Shrine and Hula Bowls. Are any sponsored by the NFL? Is one for best prospects? The NFL directly sponsors the Shrine and Senior. I don't know about the Hula, but
And that don't they also have the NFLPA Bowl?
that
or
went
something?
away.
Okay.
Yep.
On that note, I thought it was very, very off-putting, the tweet that Jim Nagy put out.
Yeah, dude.
He's a weirdo.
He is a weirdo.
Your position, in my opinion, is about elevating these guys to the league. It's about what's in the best interest of young players. And to take a stance like against the guys that were at your competitor, quote unquote, bowl, to me brings up some questions to me about what you're really in this for.
Exactly.
And I didn't like that. And I've talked to Jim before and, had positive experiences with him while I was covering the Senior Bowl. But I would hope that he wants that one back because it just was a bad look.
Yeah.
And that's not something you just say kind of on a whim on an interview. Bro literally typed up that tweet and hit send.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy work. And it also makes me think about the fact that Coach Prime and Shedeur and the rest of them clearly made a decision that we're going to avoid the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that had something to do with, maybe some character concerns with Mr. Nagy.
Well, I mean, I think Nagy feels a little threatened by the Shrine Bowl, to be honest. With what Eric Galko and those people have done the last few years, I mean, the Shrine is really coming up and I think pushing the Senior Bowl. Again, this year the Senior Bowl was still ahead of the Shrine in terms of talent. I mean, they had 7, 8 first-round potential guys there. So, but that just sounds like someone a little bit scared, kind of like showing their teeth a bit,
Definitely. For sure. And in my opinion, if you're in that position, you should just be saying great work by everyone at the Shrine Bowl this week. We had an eye on it. We're wishing the best for those guys.
Yeah.
Can't wait for everyone to come here to Mobile and let's get to work.
Could have been very easy.
Yep.
To do that.
I will say, though, the Shrine is doing it right. The access that we had on the field in practice is nothing compared to the Senior Bowl. They don't even let you on the field. You're in the stands the whole time at the Senior Bowl.
Wow.
RG was literally just walking all
around.
over the place.
That's
yeah.
great. And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And it's probably another reason why you lean into having, the Sanders family there.
For sure.
Because they're the best at that. And then you start to question, why is the Senior Bowl better? Why can't it be the Shrine Bowl?
And the Shrine Bowl's existed longer than the Senior Bowl. So at some point, the Senior Bowl did surpass.
Yeah, and it could go back the other way.
For sure. Matt wants to know if there's any updates on the contract negotiations between the school and Coach Prime. I don't have. They're negotiating. That's all I know.
It is. I always say it's ongoing, and I still. Actually, I'll make a prediction.
Okay.
I think we hear something next week during Super Bowl week.
All right. I love it.
Something as in something or
something.
Anything? Okay.
I'm making a prediction. I'm not putting all my cards on the table.
Fair enough.
This is an interesting question. I haven't thought about this yet. SN Services asks, will Travis go to the DB day at the Combine, then go to wide receiver day at the Combine?
If I were him, I would just as a flex.
For sure.
Crazy.
He doesn't need to do either.
No, he doesn't need to do a single thing.
And I won't blame him if he doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he will.
But it would be a flex. And as someone who just likes to be out there doing football things, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it.
I mean, that feels like the next lead up in I guess Coach Prime's kind of legacy leading into Travis's, because Coach Prime had the legendary show up, run the 40 and leave. The next step is showing up for both drills or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, I like it.
Last minute super chats.
He should say that he's only going to one and then pull up to the other.
Yes, that would be fire too. What is this, Teasy? Big Teasy in the house. RK is on timeout for at least 5 minutes. He said he was willing to try the corn with no hands. RK equals risque corn eater.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I feel like it would be a funny TikTok challenge.
You go for it, bro.
All right. I'm not scared.
Make that happen, broski.
Come on, Teasy. RK talking about going to donk games. RK asking.
Jeez, man. You got to chill,
That
Teasy.
K is crazy.
Also, I said donks. Once again, our word.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I'm dead.
Leilani saw the metric on Reach the People. Augusta is the 23.5. Atkins is the 22.1. Williams is 22.1. Finiseth is 21.2.
Go, Ben.
McKinney is 20.8 and Hodge is 20.3. Interesting.
So we didn't get the top.
Zach Atkins running 22 miles an hour.
That's crazy if that's true.
Dang.
Yeah.
At 6'5"? Sheesh.
East Coast Cav, any word on Marshall Falk or Coach Sapp?
Why would there need to be a word on Coach Sapp?
There's nothing. Yeah, Coach Sapp is Coach Sapp.
Yeah.
Marshall Falk, I do not know. Anything else, boys?
That's all.
We had a great show today. Great week of shows, honestly.
Yeah. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Man, just get ready.
Yeah, next week.
Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
Live from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
We're going to be going live at 1 p.m. Mountain Time for the Super Bowl week.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds right to me.
Cool. Yeah, stay tuned, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Anyone who was with us last year on Radio Row knows that it gets crazy.
It does.
Also, let us know if there's anyone that you like see that is going to be out there that you're like, oh, there's this connection that you guys might not know about. We're always interested in that type of stuff.
For sure.
And our heads are spinning while we're out there trying to connect dots between players and coaches and whatever. So let us know.
It's going to be fun. Hit the like button on your way out. Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.